Good morning, my beautiful souls. My name is Nicole and I'm here to help you reconnect with your light. What I'd like to talk about today is the energies that are currently quite present following up from the new moon that took place 2 days ago. So the new moon took place in the sign of Libra, and for those of you who aren't so familiar with astrology, Libra is the sign that represents balance and justice. The new moon is a sign that represents the beginning of a new energetic cycle. So having the new moon in Libra means that we are now being pushed to find more balance within in order for us to start new beginnings and to start our life from a new perspective. It's asking us to look within, to start to pay attention to the parts of our life in which we have been giving too much attention compared to the areas in our life in which we haven't been giving enough attention. We tend to look outside of ourselves to try and understand who we are and to gain a better understanding of who we are and what it is that we do. And remember, it is based on the perspective that we have of ourselves that we make decisions in our life, and it is the decisions that we make in our life that determine the way in which our life will move forward. So we have all been used to looking outside of ourselves to try and understand what is going on and to try and find solutions for the things that we are feeling inside. But remember, it is the emotions that we feel that determine who we are. And so if we are looking for things outside of ourselves to help us understand who we are, we can at times get the wrong perception, because at the end of the day, only we can truly know who we are. Other people have a tendency of deflecting their own insecurities or wishes onto us, and whilst this may not be done in a conscious way, what happens is, because of the way people interact in their own lives, they may perceive the world to be a certain way and therefore push us to perceive the world in the same way that they do. And as that happens, they then perceive us to be a certain way based on the experiences that they've had. And it could be that these perceptions aren't at all correct. So we end up moving through our life depending on what other people tell us to help us understand who we are. But a lot of the time, this isn't really giving us a true indication of who we are. So this new moon in Libra is all about really pushing ourselves to look inside of ourselves, to start to ask ourselves the questions that we have been turning towards others to ask. So rather than looking outside of yourself and asking other people, who am I, in the terms of looking at how people deal with us or how people deal with their own lives and trying to mirror what other people do, thinking that this is who we are. At the end of the day, we are each individual, unique people. The way the planets were aligned at the time of our birth gives us a very specific energetic imprint, and that energetic imprint makes us different to everybody in the world. So there is a misconception about astrology and quite a lot of misunderstanding as to how astrology is in fact an ancient science that has been used for many, many years. But today we think that astrology simply relates to our sun sign, and the sun sign is only just a small aspect of who we are. So for example, while I might be an Aries, somebody else who's an Aries may carry themselves in a very different way because they have a moon sign in another sign and their rising sign is in a different sign, and all of the planets are in different signs and different houses. And when it comes to looking at astrology, it means that we have to look at each of the individual planets, houses and signs in which make up our composition. So it's important to understand that the way this new moon is impacting everybody is going to be very different. But what it is pushing us to see is that we need to stop looking for external validation to understand who we are. It's time that we start going inwards and to start asking ourselves the questions that we have constantly been putting out to the world. It's time that rather than constantly looking for external validation and constantly seeking others to help us understand who we are, we start to ask these questions to ourselves. And journaling is a powerful tool that can help you. This is something that I've been doing for 3 years now, and I've seen how much of an impact it's had in my life. It's helped me to start paying attention to the parts of myself that I didn't know were there, and to start realizing parts of myself that were holding me back from doing the things that I truly wanted to do in my life. So now is the time to really go within and to start asking yourself questions such as, which parts of my life have I been neglecting because I have been fearful, or because other people have made me believe that I cannot be what I hope to be? Or what areas of my life have I been neglecting because of the conditioning that I've been through? What parts of my life have I not been paying more attention to because I live in a world in which these things have been perceived as being somewhat esoteric or somewhat unacceptable or somewhat making me different to the masses? We've been somehow taught to believe that we must all be the same. And I find this really hard to believe because none of us are the same. None of us think or feel in the same way. We are all triggered by different things, and we're all led by different things. We love different things and we dislike different things, and because of that, that makes us completely different people, and we then interact in the world in very different ways. So stop trying to be like everybody else. Stop looking to see what everyone around you is doing and ask yourself, what is it that I want to do for myself? What parts of my life have I been neglecting out of fear? What parts of my life have I not been paying attention to because it might bring you pain? For example, dealing with our emotions is something that will always bring us pain. And at the end of the day, it's not necessarily pain, it's just uncomfortable. Everything that is new to us will be uncomfortable because it's something that we have never experienced before. So it's simply about teaching ourselves how to sit with the uncomfortability until it becomes comfortable for us. This is what will help us to truly start to understand who we are at the soul level. So, the new moon in Libra is really all about going within and asking yourself, how can you bring more balance into your life? Which parts of your life have you been putting too much energy towards and not necessarily seeing the outcomes that you would have desired by now? If you're doing something for a really long time and you're still not seeing the results that you're looking for, it could be that you're not approaching this in the right way, or simply this is not something that's meant for you. We tend to give ourselves a really hard time in life and always judging ourselves and always being difficult on ourselves, and life wasn't made to be hard. Life was meant to be easy, but we are the ones who make it hard because we find it difficult sometimes to see the things that we aren't doing. It's as Einstein said, it's very hard to solve a problem to come up with a solution at the same level at which it was created, because it's all about a matter of perspective. And if you're not seeing something that you're doing which is actually holding you back, then you're never really going to be able to move forward. And I can talk about this in my own way, in that there have been so many areas in which I didn't realize that I was holding myself back. And as I began to journal, and as I began to meditate, and as I began to start looking more at what I was doing wrong rather than what other people were doing wrong in my life, I started to take more responsibility for where I was the cause of the issues that were happening in my life. So it's very easy to pass blame onto other people because it's hard to take responsibility and to see the things that we aren't doing. But baby steps is what it takes. Start off by asking yourself, what is something that you have been doing for a long time which is a bad habit that you would like to quit? Now, it's not easy to quit a bad habit. It means it takes a lot of willpower and a lot of mental power. But next time you find yourself doing that bad habit, just take a moment to go within and tell yourself, I know I'm no longer this person, or this habit no longer controls me. And slowly, this is how you'll start to see a change. Rome wasn't built in a day. Everything takes time and everything takes perseverance, but you need to want to see the change in order to be able to keep doing what is necessary for you to start to see that change happening in your life. So in order for you to find more balance in your life, start to pay attention to the areas of your life that you have been neglecting, whether that's your health, whether that's your mental health, whether that's your spiritual journey, whether that is simply eating better or spending more time with the people who actually matter in your life. There are so many different areas of our life that we neglect without necessarily noticing. So take some time to really question what it is that you want for your life. 2020 has been a crazy year and has really shown us that life as we know it doesn't need to be as we have been taught. Life can be very different, but we are the ones who need to take the time to make the changes that we desire. Nobody else is going to come and make these changes happen for us other than ourselves. So it's important that we remember to take some time to really think about what it is that we want in our lives, what it is that we want to change, and start to make incremental little changes in your life until you get there. Everything takes incremental change. Nothing major happens overnight. Everything is about the small little changes that you do in your life every day until they become one big change. So, beautiful souls, in order for you to help you remember who you are and to truly remember what it is that you desire more than anything, start to look within and ask yourself, what is the life that you truly dream of, and where are you getting in the way of that life? Where are you neglecting parts of your life that could be helping you achieve that goal or that accomplishment, but you are getting in the way, maybe because of laziness, maybe because this is something that you've been doing throughout your life. It's interesting that we haven't been taught a lot of things about how to actually lead our lives. We haven't been taught how to deal with our emotions, how to process things, how to do things in a different way, and so we must teach ourselves. But the only way to teach ourselves is to have that conversation with ourselves without always letting other people get into the way and let other people be what defines the way we make our decisions. So, beautiful souls, keep doing what you're doing. Baby steps. Do small incremental things to change your habits and to make yourself feel better. Nothing happens overnight. I hope that you'll find this helpful, and I hope that you will take some time to really sit with yourself. Meditation is a powerful tool to help you start questioning yourself and to start going within and asking yourself. And meditation is simply about one pointed focus. So even if it means sitting for 2 minutes and focusing on your in and out breath and really connecting with your breath, you'll start to pay attention and to start notice things that you didn't notice before. Incremental change is what makes the difference in our life. So stop trying to rush ahead and worry if things don't happen overnight. Just keep with it, and eventually you'll start to see those changes. Trust yourself, and trust yourself above anybody else, because you will always know what is best for yourself. Only you have lived your life and know why you make the decisions that you do and the things, and why you are driven by the things you're driven by. So nobody else has the power to tell you how to deal with your life and how to overcome the challenges that you are experiencing. Only you know how to do that. Follow your heart and listen to it deeply. Stop using your logical mind, because the logical mind pushes us to think from fear. There are so many things in this world that we are so unaware of, and once you start to follow your heart and do the things that make you happy, you will start to realize just how powerful you are. Thank you so much for sharing this journey with me, and I hope that you find the power within yourself to continue on this journey and to continue finding the strength within yourself. I love you so much, and I'm sending you so much love and light to help you through this journey.